morning and welcome to Cover 2 Cook. We're on episode 136. We're going to talk a little bit about college football as we have must-watch games coming into the weekend. And then we have other news. Portals are getting taken away. We'll talk about that as well. And then we have an NFL-packed Sunday. We're going to tell you the must-watch games, finishing with Lisa's lesson of the day, Anthony's vent of the day, and Tim's best picks. So let's get it started.
Yeah. I was going to do a vertical jump there. Thank you, Socks.
Travel been to Indiana, and did Cover 2 Cook get you a good hotel?
Indiana? No, I'm in Louisiana. I'm here for Mardi Gras.
I know that this might be hard, but I don't know how much you remember Friday night since we left you damn near when you fell asleep.
I got my belly full, man. I was like, I warm covers and warm. I was like, I could go to sleep right now.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Jack Dorsey.
Final answer?
Yes. All right.
This is going to be a long fucking day.
Welcome back to Cover 2 Cook, episode 136. I'm here with Anthony and Tim today, and we have a lot to talk about. So let's get into the college football happening this weekend, some must-watch games. Anthony, what's your first must-watch game this weekend?
Yep. It's the flag behind me, obviously. Notre Dame versus Purdue. This game feels like the Purdue game last year. We come off a Northern Illinois loss. We need to show that we're going to play. Well, if you remember that game, they put up 66 points after an offense that struggled against Northern Illinois. Should have never happened, right? Well, it's the opposite this time. Now, we need a defense that's going to stop a good Purdue offense and show that they deserve to get better week over week, right? So this game is going to determine a lot for Notre Dame going forward. It's Purdue. What does it matter? It does matter in Indiana, first off. People either Notre Dame fans, Purdue fans, Indiana fans, right? That's it. And they don't love each other because nobody loves Notre Dame when it's in Indiana, right? That. But I'll say this right now. This is a different Purdue team. This is not a Purdue team that just walks around. They had a lot of transfers come in. Brown, I believe his name is. He threw for over 305 yards last week against USC, but did have 3 interceptions. So how does Notre Dame win this game? Put pressure on the quarterback. We cannot let the quarterback sit back there, okay? So if that's tagging up those blitzes, tag them up. DBs, be ready to run because those guys will catch balls right here. This will be a good game. I think this a 20-some point spread. I don't believe in that. I said it last year, and they spanked them. I still don't believe it until Notre Dame proves me wrong. And that's the thing about being a Notre Dame fan is now you're just like, okay, prove me wrong. Because now I have all these disappointments. Kind of reminds me of when I was a Cub fan before 2016.
That's very true. Tim, what's your thoughts on that?
I think the big key in this game, can't start out slow against this thing. Yeah. Put them away early. And you've got to go out there. I mean, they did that last week. They went out and scored right off the bat. I mean, they were up 10-0 at one time. I mean, or it was 10-7. But they've got to go out, and they got to start out strong. Yep. And that defense has got to start out. They got to put pressure on that quarterback. USC did last week, and I don't think I think Notre Dame's defense is better than USC's, they've got to start out strong. They've got CJ Carr cannot make the stupid little mistakes, the little dink passes for interceptions. Because if Purdue is still playing with them in the third and fourth quarter, all bets are off. I mean, this could be a very close game. And if this is a close game, it could be a very long season for Notre Dame. And Notre Dame fan. They've got to start out strong and put pressure on that quarterback. If they don't, and they let them keep playing, don't play another key. Don't play down to your competition.
Yeah. Don't
play down to it. If you do, you may get beat. And if you get beat against these guys, it could be a very long season. Long.
No, it's over. It's over. The year's over. Like you can just mark it up. You don't have to watch on Saturday for Notre Dame. If they lose, it's over. There's no playoff talk. I don't even want them in a bowl. I like, right. And it's crazy because I've seen so many people coming after Freeman's job. Like, relax. But the problem is Freeman, he's got this bad resume already. Yes, he took us to a national championship. But so did Brian Kelly.
Right.
So did Charlie Weiss, right? Like, we've had coaches that have done that and haven't won, right?
Right.
But at the same time, you have a Marshall loss. You have a Northern Illinois loss. This is this year where you can't have that loss the rest of the year. And he's always good for one. So now my problem is this Purdue team? Because if you go on 3, I'd be nervous for Freeman. I don't think he should get fired. I think after coming off a national championship run. But Notre Dame, they want to win, and they want to win now.
I want to see them win too. I mean,
Well, yeah. Thanks.
No, but I just
Thanks
mean
on
that-
Saturday for not rooting against me.
No, I just mean that like I felt like they played to Texas A&M's like level of competition really well last week. So like that's the kind of intensity that they need to come in at. And you're right, they can't stoop down or who knows? Purdue might have a great game too. So they have to stay ahead of them, one step ahead, or at least 5 steps ahead to get this game in.
And I got one thing. All I'm gonna say is we're saying playing to a certain level. Play Notre Dame football. Run the ball, stop the run. Run the ball, stop the run. That's all they have to do. That obviously shows that you can win. You can almost win a national championship by doing that. Just play Notre Dame football. Don't play Texas A&M. Don't play Purdue ball.
Yeah, put pressure on the quarterback. That's what got him to the national championship last year.
Yeah,
putting pressure on the quarterback, make him throw bad balls.
Yeah,
bad balls.
All right. Well, we got a lot more games to talk about. So, Tim, what is your first must-watch game this weekend?
Auburn and Oklahoma. I think the key to this game is the quarterback that transferred from Oklahoma to Auburn, Jackson Arnold. He played against him last year. So that this team, Brent Venables knows this quarterback. He had him last year on his team. Also, Auburn they've got to they're going to have to lean heavy on the running. I mean, they've got a good Jeremiah Cobb. He's rushed for over 314 yards so far this season and 4 touchdowns. Oklahoma's going to be I think the big key also for Oklahoma, they're going to be without DN Mason Thomas for the first half because he got a targeting penalty at the in the second half of last week's game. So, but I think this is going to be a very good game between Mater and Arnold. Will Arnold go down on the pressure? Because he didn't play very well when they played Tennessee last year when he was playing for Oklahoma. He didn't play very well again for them. So, and they ended up moving quarterbacks after that too. So, I think that the biggest deal I'm glad to see, that Mater Arnold going head to head. This is good. I think this is going to be a really good game.
Okay. All right, Anthony, what do you think?
Yeah, I don't think this is going to be a good game. I think Oklahoma blows them out. I truly do.
Oh, wow.
I think Oklahoma is a sneaky, really good SEC team. Now, we say those quarterbacks that transferred swap schools, not swap schools, but you know what I mean. Like he went to Auburn. Oklahoma's a great fit for that quarterback. And Auburn's a great fit for that quarterback. They actually found positions or schemes that fit what they are. So that's great. The same thing that I'm looking at, though, is Oklahoma's defense. Oklahoma's defense brings it. It don't matter if you're Alabama or you're Alabama State. They're going to come after you 110 times through a game. They blitz like crazy. I think that's where you look at this game and say, I think Auburn on paper has so much more talent. I would actually trust the coach more. I think they kind of proved to the SEC, watch out. LSU and Alabama and all these, Georgia, watch out because here they come. And I'm not saying Texas because I'm still not afraid of them yet.
Yeah. I also want to tease this a little bit. This is one of my best bets for the weekend, this game. I will tease you at the end to see which way I go.
Yeah, don't tease me too long.
All right. All right, Anthony, what's your second must-watch game this weekend?
Yeah, Illinois versus Indiana, right?
Another Indiana school, huh?
Wow, but yeah, Illinois in this game. I think this game is the world for both teams. I mean, it honestly is the pinnacle that's going to talk about the future of this organization or future of these colleges. Illinois, if they win, is it for real, right? Are they for real? Now, on the other side, Indiana had a great year last year, right? Can they keep that up? They've been playing some of these small schools and just been beating on them, and people are like, hey, they're playing an easy schedule because they know they got a conference coming in. Illinois, they've been playing Western Illinois. Western Illinois. They haven't. Michigan. They haven't played anyone either. I will say, though, they have a lot more returning starters on that side. I think the interesting fact of this game right here, Luke Altemeyer has thrown for 709 yards with 8 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. Fernando Mendoza has thrown for 708 yards, 1 less, 9 touchdowns, 1 more, and 0 interceptions. Both teams want to be physical at the line of scrimmage. They want to control the clock by running the ball. Well, you just told me all these interesting, but that's what it opens up for. When you can run the ball very well, it opens up the pass. What team can actually do that going into this weekend is going to win that game. I think this is a toss. I know it's in Indiana, so Illinois, you're going to have to go against that. I still think you're the better team on the field. Coaching wise, I don't know if I really kind of have a favorite on this one. But what I will tease on this one is if Illinois wins, I'm saying it right now, they are in the playoffs. Their only hard game after this would be Ohio State at home and USC next week, depending on actually if USC is worthy. If Indiana wins, I am not guaranteeing the playoffs because they have to go to Oregon, Iowa, and Penn State. So when we talk about how easy of a schedule they've had so far, don't worry. It will even itself out by the end of it. But Illinois, if you win this game, this is a, what do they call those? Title or what? The prestige wins or whatever. Right. This is one of those. And then you play Ohio State. If you can be competitive in that game or even win it, you're definitely in the playoffs for sure.
I think that Ohio State game is going to be the true telling if they're going to make it or not. I don't think this game has anything to do with that.
No. I'm saying if they win. If they lose, then Ohio State game kind of may not mean anything by then. But if they win, and then they go into against Ohio State, if they can play close to there, their ranking won't go down because Ohio State's what, number 1 right now? Mm-hmm. So, and they're not going to play anyone that's going to be worth the shit until then. So I think that's why I'm saying if they win, they're in the playoffs because I don't think they're going to go that far down, losing to the number 1 team in the nation at that time.
I see what you're saying. Okay. Tim, what do you think?
I think this is a big game. You know, last year they played Penn State at Penn State and hang tough with Penn State until the end. They just kind of fell apart. This Indiana, one thing people were complaining is that this should have been at college game. They should be at this game.
Oh, it should be.
But no, they have to pick Florida and
LSU.
Miami. At Miami. So that's why they picked it. And a lot of people were complaining about it. And I guess on Reese Davis on one of the podcasts said sometimes they pick it because of a storyline, how bad Florida's doing and Miami's doing really well and whatever. But I think the biggest
picked out in advance.
Yeah,
yeah. Okay.
So I mean, I think this is. I agree with you. I think if they can win this one, this is going to be tough at Indiana. Is this a night game? This is a night game, isn't it?
I thought it was an afternoon. Game. Let me go.
But anyway, it's that's the deal. Is that I mean, they're 9 right now. If they win, they can move to 7 or 6. Yeah, I mean if they could play Ohio State close, not beat them but close, they won't go down very far.
Well, and don't get me wrong. If you beat them, it's good.
Hell yeah, now you're talking maybe possible number 1 seed if they beat them. They may get a number 1 seed out of that, or not number 1 seed, but top 4 if they can beat them there. I don't know if they will, but So I mean, this is going to be. I think this is going to be a damn good game.
Yeah, it's a night game.
Is it? I thought it was. I thought I
is. And Fox noon kickoff is at Utah this week.
Yes.
So, because we have a person that we went to college with that's on that crew. So on
nice.
the production crew. So I always know where they're at because I always see it when it's going through. So.
Right. Okay.
Why that's another one. If Fox and Big Ten want to stay together, why are you not at this game? Why is this not a primary game? So.
Well, that leads us into our final must-watch. Tim, what is your final must-watch this weekend?
Like we just said, Texas Tech and Utah. I think the big storyline is Utah. This is the second year being in the Big 12. They had a lot of expectations last year. They fell short. Let's see what you got. And you've got a proven team in Texas Tech. I think they both have good quarterbacks, and Devin Dampier for Texas or Utah, and they got Baron Morton. I think this is going to be a shootout. I wouldn't be surprised if the final score is 35-32, 38-37. I think they go up and down the field like a track meet. You don't turn your head because another team may just score. I think this is going to be an up and down thing. I think it's going to be fun to watch, and it'll be interesting.
So you think it's going to be a close one, Anthony? Do you feel the same?
I actually think it determines on what defense wants to stand up against their advocate. And what I mean by that is Utah is number 8th in the nation for running yards per game. Okay, so they're going to run the hell out of the ball. That can control the clock. Well, guess what Texas Tech is number 3rd in the nation of? Passing the ball. Wow. So what defense can stand up against the run? What defense can stand up against the pass? I will say when I see a team that can pass, they're highly, successful in the passing game, that's the team I want to take. But at the same time, if Utah can hold on to that ball and make the less amount of plays on the side of Texas Tech, Utah might take this one. I think it's going to be a great game. I think it's two teams that we've heard of being good, but haven't felt the goodness recently. Texas Tech, it feels like ages ago. Patrick Mahomes, since the last time I remember them being pretty good.
No, for sure. So it might be another bottleneck. Just depends on who's going to make the least amount of errors. So.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. So let's see.
Or who has the ball last.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, and that brings us into other news. I did want to let you guys know that Arizona State and Kansas are reportedly playing in London next year. So I'm dropping my hint now to buy tickets for.
I have no interest to go to that game, but okay. Man. I'll go to London, but I'm not going to that game.
I just destinational. I mean, I don't even need a ticket. I just need a flight to get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you guys surprised that they're doing this for college football now? I feel like it was more of an NFL route.
I think, the way I look at it is college football is going to follow whatever NFL does, whether it's rules or things like that. I think this is a way to broaden the game. We've seen it when the Dublin game and things like that, seeing players come over and actually play in college football because they've seen play, it just expands the game. It brings it more instead of, hey, talking about football, we're going to talk about football that weekend in London.
I gotcha. Okay. Well, and then the other thing that I saw that I'm not 100% clear about is the NCAA removing spring transfer window. I didn't even know there was 2 windows. So talk me through this.
Yeah. So college football is removing, like you said, the spring transfer portal. It will go down to 1 offseason portal window. Now, you're asking, who cares about the spring? Well, the spring portal window was open from April 16th to the 25th. This portal is frustrating for players and coaches because it's late into spring ball. So, fall is when you play football, and the off season you're lifting, and then you get back on the field and you start running around, start running routes, you start going to offense against defense, and then a guy says, hey, I'm done. No, I'm done. The other thing that happens during this time, too, is when agents start saying, oh, you think my guy's going to be a starter? Let's pay him a little bit more money. Nico, right? We've seen this. 1,100 FBS players enter the transfer portal in the month of April alone. That's crazy. That is way too many teams having to deal with last-second decisions. Now the January portal is set up for a conversation. The initial proposal is players to wait until January 2nd, which is the day after the college football playoff quarterfinals. Coaches like Ryan Day are just like us and Cover 2 Cook. We've talked about this. We've said it does not make any sense. A coach is worrying about a national championship while also worrying about what players is leaving. We've seen it. We've seen players that do this during the portal or doing the portal during the playoffs. It is absolutely crazy. It's mayhem. I love that the NCAA is stepping up. I cannot believe I'm saying I love that the NCAA is stepping up for once, but they are. I think this is a good one, and January 2nd one has to be brought up in conversation as well.
No, I agree. The way you explain it there, it definitely makes it sound they're trying to find more structure behind it and maybe trying to make it more fair for everybody.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit, not too much, yeah. But Tim, what are your thoughts?
I totally agree, and I'm glad that they're moving it back because before they could, while the backup for Penn State moved on right before their first game in the playoffs, and he's already transferring. So now they got to go with a third stringer as their backup. That hamstrings a possible national championship team.
Yep.
So that'd be like somebody filing for free agency in the middle of a divisional round playoff game or the wild card weekend. I don't think I'm going to play. I think I'm going to file for free agency. What? I mean, that hamstrings a lot of good players. The kid from Tennessee, if he didn't make the playoffs, he was going right to the transfer portal, and it would have said the hell with the bowl game.
Yep.
So I mean that's dangerous. I'm glad that they're going to. This proposal moves it back at least to the quarterfinal. I mean, I don't know if you could move it back any farther. I mean, you could wait until after the national championship, kind of like what the Super Bowl does with the NFL, but that kind of hamstrings you a little bit too because within a month or two, now spring ball starts.
Yep.
So, I mean, that's kind of a big deal. I'm kind of glad that they're doing this. They've got to have some kind of structure. Like you said, 1,100 players moved in the springtime. Holy cow. So now a coach comes in after spring ball goes, all right, who do I got?
Yep.
Who's here and who's not? I mean, that's tough. That is tough for a coach. No wonder Saban got out.
Yeah.
The timing of that is, impeccable.
Right.
All right. Well, I think we're all in agreement. So let's see how this spring, fall, winter season goes.
Yeah. Well,
Right.
one last thing I wanted to say too real quick is the January 2nd is, I feel like, the max, because when you talk about too late, you also have to remember these are students.
Right.
Like, they're not just football players. So they have to go to school in a school year. Well, school year, like, to go into another school, you have to apply. And so you can't wait too long. They have to go into, like, they have to do a half a semester at this new school. So you can't just be like, wow, I'm a football player, so I'm going to show up in March. Like, whoa, you're only here for 2 months? That's not how this all works. So you got to remember, they're students as well, not just players, students.
Well, coming from the guy on the football team, but if you ask anybody else in any other sport, they'd be like, yeah, we make exceptions for the football team.
Yeah.
I'm not saying anything to that. We can move on to the NFL.
Oh.
All right. Well, in the must-watch games for NFL, Tim, who are you looking forward to watching this weekend?
You know what I'm looking forward? The Denver Broncos against the LA Chargers.
Boo.
Okay.
You know, I think the winner of this game is in the driver's seat for the AFC West. You know, you've got the Chiefs at 0-2 so far. Denver's coming in 1-1. You've got the Chargers at 2-0. Denver, if you lose this one, now you're 1-2, and they've got a game up on you. So now you are 3 games back. I know it's still early season. It'll be week 3. We got a long ways to go, but that's a big hill to climb. You'll be 3 games back, and they'll have one of the tiebreakers. Hopefully, you can win in Denver. I mean, Denver's defense has got to step up. Danny Dimes looked like Joe Montana back there last week. They have got to start putting pressure on him. And I just don't think Bo Nix is the same person he was last year. He's struggling right now. They don't have any running attack. He's just not. And now you see Nix on the sideline arguing with Sean Payton. It's just he has to play better. And he's already had 4 turnovers in 2 games. Too many. For the Chargers, they're looking pretty good, as they already have 2 wins in their division against the Chiefs and Raiders, and their defense has been lights out. I mean, their defense has been clamping down. Herbert already has 560 yards and 5 touchdowns this year with 0 interceptions. This is a big game for Denver. They cannot go behind 4 games with this team. It'll be a long hill to climb if they want to win the division.
Yeah, and you can only chase for so long before you run out of gas. So you better get ahead of it while you can. Anthony, what's your reaction?
Yeah, I think this is a big game for both defenses because Khalil Mack not playing or being on the IR now for the Chargers is a huge loss for them. On the other side, Cortland Sutton, let's get him started. Let's get him going, right? Like, I love this Franklin going off and Mims Jr. and all that, but your star wide receiver needs to get the ball. He needs to be throwing the ball more often. Bo Nix, you know who to go to. Not just saying it because of fantasy, but also that is the best for their situation. And then the other question on this game, too, is do you take the bet of Hampton fumbling the ball again? Because he's been 2 for 2 so far. So I think maybe Denver goes after the arms on that one as well.
All right. Well, take me into your must-watch game this weekend.
Well, he just said his favorite team. I'm going to my favorite team, the Vikings versus the Bengals. This game is notorious for the backup quarterback game. We have Joe Burrow out and J.J. McCarthy. Now, when we talk about starting quarterbacks, I would rather lose J.J. McCarthy than Joe Burrow in this situation. Aaron Jones will also not be playing as he's been placed on the IR for a hamstring injury. Solid. And so this game is interesting for both teams. You have Jamar Chase on one team. You have Justin Jefferson. Both part of that LSU team. Yep. I would actually say the 2 best wide receivers in the NFL. Malik Neighbors is a very close third, but they are the top 2 wide receivers. They have second-string bums coming out to throw them the ball. That is crazy for the NFL, okay? And Carson Wentz, you say Carson Wentz is not Carson Wentz of that 1 year in Philadelphia, okay? He's a lot older now, or not a lot older, but he's older now. Is it Browning for the Bengals?
Jake Browning. Yep.
You kind of saw what he got thrown into last week. Hopefully he's a little bit more prepared against this Vikings defense. Looking at this game, the Vikings need to start out fast and have to be on the back of Carson Wentz. Start throwing the ball. You're going to have to now that you're going down to 1 running back because of Aaron Jones going down. At the same time, Bengals, Browning has to be able to get the ball to his wide receivers, Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. That's all it is. Who cares what the running game does? Just get the balls to the stars, let them make plays. This would be a good game. I think this could have been so much better, though. But good game.
Yeah, no, I would agree. I was kind of surprised that you were saying it's a must-watch game with the backups being in, but the way you're making it sound, it kind of sounds like more of an even playing field depending on who can play better.
if Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson are playing any sport, volleyball, basketball, badminton, I'm watching that. They are the most
Right.
two athletic guys in the NFL. Crazy good. I'll watch it. I'm in.
All right, Tim. What do you think of this game?
I think Wincy has got to get Hawkinson involved. I think he's your check down guy. If you can't get it to Jefferson and Naylor, let's get Hawkinson involved with this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, maybe lean on Jordan Mason. He was a good running back for San Francisco last year. But I think they got to get Hawkinson more involved in this offense. The first 2 weeks, boy, he's been a ghost out there. Yeah. They have got to get him involved. I think it could come down to the defenses, and Minnesota's got a better defense than Cincinnati.
Oh, they got to show up.
Right. I think they did last week, but I think if they can get pressure on Jake Browning, the running back for, I can't think the kid, Chase Brown for Cincinnati. I mean, I think if they can get to Browning and don't let him sit back in that pocket and get the ball to Chase and Higgins and make Chase Brown beat you, I think it really comes down to the defenses. And Minnesota's got a better defense than Cincinnati, hands down.
Yep.
All right. Well, then it'll be a game to watch. Tim, what's your second must-watch the game?
Oh, this one's a noon start. Rams and Eagles, a rematch of the divisional round game last year in snowy Philadelphia. For the Rams, this trip to Philadelphia is a test for Stafford for young receivers. For Philadelphia, they look good, but not great. There's a perfect opportunity to get right. I think the key will be the offensive line for Stafford. Keep them upright, boys. Keep them upright. That defensive line with Jalen Carter will put pressure on Stafford. Will they keep him upright? Because they've got to. They may have to lean on Kyron Williams a lot more. And so that's a big deal. For Philadelphia, their offense has been moving the ball, but not really great. The person they need to really get, they are 5 for 5 in the red zone. The key player is A.J. Brown. Oh, yeah. They have not got him going at all the first 2 weeks, as he's had 6 receptions for 35 yards. I think if Philadelphia wants to win, they have got to get him going.
Yep.
No, that definitely sounds like they're not utilizing him with it being 3 weeks in.
Yeah.
Anthony, what do you think?
Yeah, I think the Rams are trying to take a little bit out of the Eagles' playbook. They went out and got Devontae Adams, which is A.J. Brown, right? That is. And then you got Puka Nacua, which is Devontae Smith, right? The running backs are the difference in this game. Kyron Williams, hey, we love you, man. We love where you come from. But you are no Saquon Barkley. And your offensive line in L.A. is not the offensive line for the Eagles, right? Now, being said that, if that game last year in the playoffs wasn't in the snow, the Rams walk out as winners, okay?
I agree.
Rams have played really well so far this start of the year. I think this game comes down to the end. I think this is where you're going to have to see Jalen Hurts or Saquon put it on their back. I would love to say that A.J. Brown is going to get more involved. I just think he's more of a better decoy than he is a football player anymore these days. This would be a great game. I'll definitely watch this one on the Red Zone.
Yeah, me too.
No doubt about it. Well, Anthony, what's your last must-watch game this weekend?
This is a real quick one, okay? San Fran versus Arizona. 2-2-0 teams. I did not know this, but I guess I just didn't realize it. Cardinals actually swept the 49ers last year. When you think of the good 49ers teams and things like that, and the Cardinals, Kyler Murray's Cardinal team, Marvin Harrison Jr. has to get more involved. That was actually brought up in a conversation today, and he asked, that's a ridiculous question. I'm okay with the amount of targets I've had. No, he's not. No, he's not. He's being very generous. And I'm speaking on the behalf of Marvin Harrison Jr. Throw him the damn ball more, okay? He'll come down with it. Just throw him the ball more. Kyler Murray plays good against the San Fran in the past. People FaceTiming me right there. They've played well against him. So Kyler Murray's played well against the San Fran. If he can keep that up in this game, Brock Purdy is a game time decision. Sorry again. I think it's a game time decision. We'll have to determine who's going to win the game on this one. If Brock Purdy doesn't play, I think this goes in the favor of Arizona.
Okay. All right, Tim, what do you think?
Well, I'm going to tell you one thing. This is one of my best bets for this week, so stay tuned. When I get to this, I will tell you what I think of this more. But yeah, I think Mac Jones is going to can do enough with that 49ers defense. I think if Mac Jones doesn't turn the ball over, and they lean on their running up with CMC, I think they can win. But for Arizona, they got it. They can't do. Kyler's got to be under more control. You can't be just shuffling around and trying to play backyard football. They've got to just go with what they obviously got. Go behind James Conner and try to lean on that defense that they've got, and maybe make Mac Jones, throw some interceptions.
Yeah, no, that definitely would make sense too, and I can see that working out if Kyler can get that done. But that actually leads into my next segment that I wanted to talk about, Lisa's lesson of the day. So a little bit at the end of the season last year, I did a little clip of, I didn't know something and I learned it, and I shared it with all of you because I'm kind of, knowledgeable in football, but not too much. So when I hear that someone gets injured by turf toe, I don't feel like I can take that seriously. Like, what does that mean, and how serious is this injury? Well, it turns out that's just a nice way to put it. It can be very serious. So a turf toe is the ligament from your big toe to the bottom of your foot that allows your foot to close and open, to walk, run, do any sort of activity. So if you strain this, partially tear, or completely tear it, you're not walking. So that can be pretty serious. So that's understandable why Brock Purdy was out for a couple weeks. Now, Joe Burrow has a grade 3 tear, so he has to get surgery and is out for potentially 3 months. So that put it in a new light for me that I didn't realize how serious turf toe was. Like any other knee injury or ankle blowout, like those sound more serious, where I didn't think turf toe was. Did you guys know what turf toe was, or am I just saying it too many times now?
No, yeah, we did. I would say, like, when you hear Achilles, you're like, oh my gosh.
Right.
Turf toe can lead to the same problems. Joe Burrow is not going to have a quick recovery. Like,
No.
even the surgery and things like this, this is not going to be quick. But that's why I also don't think Brock Purdy's playing this weekend, because I don't think he's fully healed from it, and it does control so much of your foot.
Yeah. No, and he's got a partial tear, so he's going to have to do some rehab to get back into it.
Yeah.
I thought turf toe was like you stubbed your toe really hard. I really did.
On the turf.
Until they were talking about stretching ligaments, and you've got so many bones in there and so many ligaments in your toes and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, really? I just thought it was just like you stubbed your toe really hard and you just can't walk on it. But yeah, the way they were talking last week when he did it, I think it was Ian Rappaport or somebody said, yeah, it's ligaments and you're stretching, and it was like, oh, okay. Yeah, that's pretty big.
Right. And that's where I was just like, why does Joey need to be out for months at a time? Oh, he's got to get surgery because he completely torn it. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I know Anthony has a vent of the day that he has to get off his chest. So Anthony, take the floor.
Anthony's vent of the day today is my own Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray decided to get a new dog. Congrats on the new dog. Everyone should have a dog. They're great animals. Got a pit bull. Okay. Some people have their opinions about pit bulls. I think it's dependent on the owner, but he gets a pit bull. But then he wants to take a picture and post it on Instagram. Hey, we all do it. We're doing a podcast right now. Wearing a Michael Vick jersey. How delusional, how idiotic, how dumb do you have to be that you decide to wear that during that? Okay, and I'm not against Michael Vick, okay? I think what he did was awful. He's changed. He spent his time in, prison. But he went to prison because of what he did, okay? So it wasn't just a slap on the wrist. He did go to prison. He's now a coach. He's changing people's lives. Good for him. Congrats, all that. Not going to be a bashing on Michael Vick. My bashing is on Kyler Murray. You are so delusional you don't understand that. Do you understand your organization also had to put in your contract to watch game film because you couldn't pay attention? This is one of those moments. What the hell are you doing? Like, what? He's apologized. You don't have people in your, group, their squad, friends that are like, hey, this is probably a dumbass idea. Do not post this on social media. I cannot believe it. If this is a lead to what his weekend's going to be like, I'm benching Marvin Harrison Jr. because he's going to throw the ball in the fifth round or fifth row. I don't understand what you think when you decide to wear Michael Vick. Out of all quarterbacks, Michael Vick and a pit bull. Crazy, stupid, just unbelievably delusional.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I hope it's that, it just flew over his head that he didn't even think about it. But, honestly, when you see any Michael Vick shirt, it's associated with the dog fighting. So it's not like, yes, he can be a changed man and he's different who he is now. But anytime, you see a Michael Vick jersey, you're associated with that. So I think that was very, very silly of him to do. And that's a nice way of putting it.
Yeah.
It's a bad optic. I'm telling you, it's a bad optic. Again, just like anything, people just don't realize that stuff that you do and post it on social media, they just don't get it. People just don't get it. I think in this society, people just don't get it. They just post whatever the hell they want to post, and you don't know the ramifications of what you post. And oh, I'm sorry. You mean to tell me you didn't think about this before you did it? And as far as people telling them, people are not telling them that. People are not. His people are not telling them, and that's part of another issue is people don't tell people maybe you shouldn't do that. People just say, well, go ahead. You can go ahead and do that. See what happens. It's just a bad optic. He should have never done that.
Yeah,
and
I
don't think he's in a position where he needs publicity and good publicity and bad. You're not in that position. Like, you're already a QB for an NFL team. Like, you're getting enough spotlight as it is. So for us to talk about you, it's not you know what I mean? It's not shedding a good light.
I would actually say that Kyler Murray's only been in the news on bad news. Like, it's never been actually good news. Like, unless you talk about, his college days and the NFL. The contract is the whole conversation about the contract to this, to what he's doing off the field. It's never been in a good light. So when you do say, people don't understand what they're posting, I get that for your local Facebook, right? But these NFL players have teams that help them get sponsor deals. I mean, we see this now in social media people, not even just athletes. He has people. Someone told him that it was okay to post. Absolutely stupid. And then if that person did not tell him, they should be fired for not telling him.
Yeah, exactly.
Alrighty, well, that leads us into Tim's best bets. He's landed a couple teasers with us, so please divulge.
My record so far is 5-8. Not good. I mean, you can listen to these bets or whatever, but we're going to go 4-0 this week.
Okay.
I'm going to put it down right now. 4-0. I did a lot of research this morning and tonight and this afternoon. We're going to go 4-0. Please, let's hope.
I like the
first game, Michigan State and USC. Michigan State has failed to cover the spread in each of the last 8 games, but Michigan State has won 5 of the last 7 road openers as an underdog. Both these teams are 3-0, but USC is a better offense, and this is a late game for Michigan. This is a 11 o'clock start time at East Lansing. So that's very late for them. This is a very late game. Give me USC, and I'll give you the 17.5 points. I think USC crushes Michigan State. I don't think this game's not even close. Second game, Auburn and Oklahoma. Both teams undefeated, and it's making for a classic, I think. I think Jackson Arnold and Jeremiah Cobb hold on the ball, and the Tigers leave Norman with a victory.
No.
Give me Auburn, and I'll take the 6.5.
No. 0-1 there.
NFL, Indianapolis versus Tennessee. The Colts have lost the last 6 road games following a win. The Titans have failed to cover the spread in each of the last 9 home games. I like the Titans in the 4.5. I think it's about time for Danny Dimes to turn back into a pumpkin. I think the Titans and Cam Ward only get better as the season goes along. So give me the Titans in the 4.5. Arizona and San Francisco. 49ers have won each of the last 4 home openers in September. The Cardinals have covered the spread of each of the last road games in September. Give me the 49ers. That defense, I think Kyler Murray runs for his life against that 49ers defense, and I think Mac Jones can keep up the gig for another week. Give me the 49ers, and I'll give you the 2.5. I like this one. It's a very small spread. So that's my best bets for this weekend.
Okay, well, you sounded confident, but then I'm looking at Anthony's face and he disagrees.
I think 3 out of the 4 are solid. I just don't believe in that Auburn one. But I will say this. I think the USC versus Michigan State, they should have a trophy going forward. And it should be the iron the horse of the whole the whole tail back in the day where they, they stuck the, okay. That should be the trophy for that one. I do like the other 3. I think the Colts can they really keep that up? Can they keep this going? Cam Ward's also found a good wide receiver there too, so who knows? But good luck. I'd hammer that last one. The San Francisco one though.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think it's a different year. I think that defense is with the Saleh now as their DC, their defensive coordinator. Yeah. They're playing a lot better defense than they did last year. I think they make Kyler Murray just see ghosts.
Well, he is short, so that does make sense. All right. Well, that was episode 136. We had college football. We had NFL. We had must-watch for both of those. We also had Lisa's lesson of the day, Anthony's vent of the day, and Tim's best bets. We gave you an action-pack. This one's a little bit longer. That's how it's going to kind of go sometimes. When we got a lot to talk about, we got to let you know what you're going to go into for the weekend, okay? So enjoy your Friday. If you like what we do, subscribe, comment, share it, do all that you can. We're on TikTok, Facebook, YouTube. But I want to thank everyone. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the football. And we'll be back on Monday talking about the great weekend of college and NFL football. See you guys later.